YouTube. It's your boy Official Bumpton Jack Dripper back on Slim Gang TV. Today's content revolves around that boy T.I.'s son King Harris. Now, I will admit, today my notifications been going crazy on YouTube. You know what I mean? And I appreciate all the interaction. You know what I mean? All interaction is good interaction. I just started this page, just started putting effort into it. It's doing all right. It's moving. I can't complain. But I noticed today a lot of people got on me about King Harris. And I'm wondering, like, why am I getting all this traction? You know what? Let me apologize to his fans. Maybe they think I'm being a little harsh or this or that. You know, fuck all that. All right? We're going to run this bean footage and we're going to talk about it.
I don't have no gang. I ain't in no gang. I got family. I got motherfuckers who willing to risk their lives and freedom to die by me and mine. You hear me? Well, don't f***ing play with me, man. Don't play with my motherfucking child ever.
King Harris just hit rock bottom. His own father warned him this could happen. Now he's locked up, stripped of his fame, and finally facing reality. The 20-year-old who once acted untouchable is now desperate, reportedly begging T.I. for help after crossing the wrong crowd behind bars. Whispers say the gangs didn't mark him for a fight, but for silence. This might be the brutal wake-up call that shows even hip-hop royalty can't escape real consequences. Picture this. A young man pacing in a freezing county jail cell, the metal doors slamming like thunder while his fake confidence fades away like air leaking from a pop balloon. That's exactly what insiders say went down when King Harris finally broke down and called out to his father for help.
Let me stop real quick.
For months.
King Harris is lucky that all they did was assault him. They could have peanut buttered his ass. They could have peaned that butter right up in him.
He was online acting tough, flashing weapons, dissing rivals, and mocking anyone who called him a spoiled kid.
Gotta stop again. What rivals? When you're overprivileged, when you were raised in nice homes, nice areas, your parents provide a better life for you, what fucking ops do you have? That's what I'm saying, King Harris fans. Think. What ops? What gang is he from? Who has he ever had beef? Oh, he had beef with the people at the private school. My bad. Let's keep going.
Now, with no Wi-Fi, no cameras, and no audience to impress, reality hit hard. Inside those walls, he learned the truth. The streets don't hand out second chances. Rumor has it King made a dangerous mistake, cracking jokes at older inmates like he was still clowning around in a Waffle House parking lot fight. But this time...
Stop it again. You have to watch out for convicts, okay? I've been incarcerated in California, Texas, Nevada, even Oregon, okay? Leave the old niggas alone. Them niggas that they call school, old school, leave them niggas alone.
There were no fans, no phones, and no laughing crowd. Just hardened men who'd been waiting for someone bold enough to test them.
Which one? Alright, so what's up with you, bro? What's up with you, bro? You got your head around me talking out your ass like you want to do something. What's up, bro? Oh, no. What's up, bro? Relax. Or what? Or what? Nothing. Or what? Because you just tried me.
This dude is standing there with a backpack in his hand looking like a she-male. Looking like a full-blown she-male.
When word spread that this wasn't some random kid, but T.I.'s own son, everything changed fast. The tension shot through the block. King wasn't just another loudmouth behind bars anymore. He became a prize target. Some wanted to earn stripes off his name, others wanted payback for his father's legacy, and a few, they just wanted to make an example.
He lucky they didn't impregnate his little ass.
Out of him. Some inmates just wanted to make an example out of him. Panicking, King reportedly rushed to the jail phone, dialing up Clifford T.I. Harris, the same father he'd been arguing with in public just months before.
I stand on
Wait till I get
business,
back and
bruh.
see him. King was caught muttering on one recording, sounding half angry, half broken. The confidence that once filled his voice was gone, replaced by raw fear, a desperate plea for protection, for mercy, for his father to step in. In a world where bloodlines and reputation decide who survives, King was suddenly realizing that fame means nothing behind steel bars.
Yes, sir. Does your buddy have one as well? No, brother. Alright, just hang tight right here for me. Let me clear this. I don't want any...
Sorry. Again, no reason to even be riding around like this. You're overprivileged. You have no real enemies. If anything, you have a lot of jealousy and envy out there. So now you're trying to flip the road and make it seem like you... What streets did you grow up in, young brother? You didn't grow up in Bankhead selling dope. You went to Rubber Band, man. 50 grand in my pan, man. Who do you am? The Rubber Band, man. None of that shit, bro. None of that shit. You ever have beef with Shawty Low? The D4L? Anybody in Atlanta? Okay.
Dental fires.
Rest in peace, Shawty Low, by the way.
There's no safety. There's no safety.
To really get how we ended up here, we gotta rewind to October 2024. King Harris wasn't caught in some wild gang shootout or undercover sting. Nah, he was in the quiet suburbs. Sliding out of a gas station in his black BMW, he nearly sideswiped a police cruiser. One reckless turn, and suddenly the blue and red lights were flashing. The moment that kicked off this whole nightmare. Officers said they smelled weed, spotted weapons, and after running his name, boom. A bench warrant popped up for old charges he'd ignored. Just like that, the son of a trap legend was cuffed on camera, processed, and splashed across TMZ headlines for the world to see. But here's the real question. If you were T.I., would you rush in to save him, or let him finally learn that hard lesson himself? Drop your thoughts below, because this story isn't just about a father and son. It's about a legacy hanging by a thread. At first, the whole thing almost looked like a joke. The body cam footage showed King acting calm, even polite, admitting to having guns in the car without blinking. "You're gonna find my guns," he said so casually, like he was talking about snacks in the glove box instead of weapons.
No motherfucking way. They got the wrong man, wrong guy.
You nigga, they caught you with the gun. You got the warrant.
They got drones flying and shit.
By the next morning, the charges were softened, and King walked free again. Another quick celebrity run-in with the law. But the damage was done. Every headline screamed, T.E.'s son arrested with guns and weed, and every blog reminded the world that this was the exact life his father warned him about. The irony couldn't be louder. The kid born into success was chasing the very struggle his dad escaped. But here's the real twist. Legally, things cooled off fast, but culturally, it blew up like wildfire. That footage painted King as a kid chasing street cred he couldn't handle. And once the jailhouse whispers started spreading, talk that he didn't just spend one night locked up, but actually ran into the wrong people inside, everything flipped. Suddenly, this wasn't about embarrassment anymore. It was about survival. The spiral had officially begun, and it wouldn't be long before the jokes stopped and the panic set in. In lockup, there's one rule that runs everything. Respect is money, and if you spend it wrong,
scientists discovered the #1 drug for longevity, and it isn't a drug at all.
you go broke fast.
I want to say this.
Whoa, YouTube. I done just started my YouTube career. I didn't have my page for as long as I've been watching YouTube, right? I've uploaded a few videos here and there just to try to see what kind of crowd but I never put no effort into it, okay? Who the fuck is this handsome young diesel mechanic, right? Well, middle-aged diesel mechanic. Who is this handsome nigga right here?
There's no shame, no embarrassment.
This boy got talent.
Getting packed out, getting beat up. As long as you fight, you're respected. Now, did King fight? We don't know. I'm to tell you my personal opinion about T.I.'s son, King. I think
King
He's
Harris,
a bitch.
raised in luxury but desperate to prove his grit.
Did y'all see the mechanic though? Fuck everything. Did you see that nigga talking to that boy got talent? What I think the boy got talent? The boy got talent. We'll carry on now.
Reportedly stormed into that jail with the same loud, cocky energy he had online. But jail isn't Instagram. And the people inside aren't internet trolls you can clap back at with a meme. These weren't internet tough guys. They were lifers, hustlers, men with nothing left to lose. Word around the block says King was cracking jokes, name dropping, maybe even talking slick about who his father was. Big mistake. In a place like that, the only thing worse than showing weakness is showing arrogance. It didn't take long for whispers to start spreading through the jail. Some inmates saw an opportunity and moved in. This wasn't just about checking a young loudmouth. It was about testing the Harris legacy itself. The son of T.I. It wasn't just repping himself anymore. He was carrying his father's name, his family's image, even Atlanta's hip-hop pride on his back. Before long, King was reportedly cornered, facing threats that went far beyond some quick fight in the showers. These men weren't just trying to scare him. They wanted to send a message, and that message was cold and clear. Fame won't save you here. That's when the panic kicked in. The bravado, gone. The smirks, gone.
You already know that when you come to jail, everybody jealous of what you done had in your life. That's just part of the culture. Like, I wish I would have had.
He kind of telling the truth. What they jealous of is of your lies. A lot of people go to jail and they can become whoever they want to be. All right. You got people in there lying about the cars, the women, the homes, the clothes. They might have a few pictures from a few good days that they had sent inside and try to use those pictures for validation. Them niggas ain't about shit. Then you get somebody like King Harris who really has something going for himself, you know, and I don't hate the young man, and I'm not trying to bash him. I'm just speaking the truth, and I'm going to continue with my truth later. But, you know, King walks in there. He has money. He has value. Like, they can't compete with that. So the only way they know how to compete is by attacking him. And I'm going to say it again. He's lucky he didn't get that peanut butter.
All that I'm built for this talk, silent. Insiders say King finally realized how deep he was in when whispers reached him that some crews weren't planning to rough him up. They were planning to erase him. That's when fear took over, and he ran straight to the jail phones, begging for T.I. to step in. He needed help, fast, hoping someone on the outside could smooth things over with connections, cash, or favors. His mouth had been writing checks for months, but now the bill was due, and the price was his own safety. For years, T.I. has been preaching the same warning to his son. This path doesn't end with fame, it ends with prison. But like most stubborn 20-year-olds who think they've got life all figured out, King brushed it off. Remember that viral Falcons game back in 2023? The one where father and son almost turned the VIP suite into a UFC cage match?
And he
That's
told
he
me
stood on business.
that it was okay. So that's the only time. Any other time, I don't even call the police like for accidents. It ain't even no 911 call with my voice on it. If I'm breaking my house, I am.
King was shouting that he wasn't raised with privilege, claiming he grew up at his grandmother's house, not in the cushy comfort of T.Y. and Tiny's mansion.
T.I., nigga.
He wanted to prove he was real, raw, and gritty. Meanwhile, T.I., a man who'd actually done time on federal gun charges, could only shake his head, watching his son chase a struggle he'd spent his whole life trying to escape. T.I. already knew this story by heart. He'd lived it. So when King called from behind bars, begging for help, the irony hit hard. The same son who once rolled his eyes at every warning was now pleading for the very man he tried to outshine. This time, T.I. didn't go public. No Instagram rants, no flashy statements, no pity posts.
I'm the only one on here who got bad-ass kids.
We all go through.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you ain't got no bad-ass kids, you got one and you got lucky. You hear me? Anybody with 3 or more,
Multiples.
you got one that you don't know what the hell you gonna do with.
But behind the scenes,
That's
the
true.
phones were on fire. Sources say lawyers were called. Old contacts reached out. And even OGs from Atlanta's underworld were quietly tapped. T.I. was allegedly pulling every string he could find, checking every angle, all to make sure his son stayed safe, no matter the cost. This wasn't just about saving a reckless son. It was about protecting a legacy. For T.I., it meant defending his family name, and maybe even rewriting a prophecy he'd seen coming for years. Because if fame makes you a bigger target
Nigga,
than behind
T.I. like
bars,
Jeffrey the
was
Butler.
King Harris doomed from the start? Drop your thoughts below and hit that subscribe button, because this story is still unfolding in real time. Now, the internet loves to exaggerate. We all know that. But this time, the whispers feel way too detailed to ignore. Multiple blogs, hip-hop forums, and street insiders are all claiming the same thing. Those gangs inside weren't just looking to humble King. They had something way deeper in mind.
I can't judge how the parenting is gone, because everything that we've seen has been stuff that many of us would have said or similar if we saw our children do this. But I will say this. A lot of what's happening is because it's in the public. Like most children don't have to do this.
These guys didn't just want a fist fight with King Harris. They wanted him gone. Why? Because in jail politics, taking down the son of a celebrity is instant clout. It earns stripes, respect, and a name in the system. All the things King had been chasing online.
Let me stop real quick. Or they could be running a play on King. Good cop, bad cop. Meaning with the inmates. So one inmate concoct a plan like, look, I'm finna go press this nigga. That's T.I.'s son. He got a room full of the Zooms and the Whams, right? Then the other nigga gonna come and be like, all right, then that's when I'm gonna come save him, put him up under me. And then, nigga, we gonna, what? Nigga, high five. We gonna eat off this nigga. Prison niggas are very crafty.
And for years, for some of those men, making an example out of him was the ultimate power move. And here's the chilling part that keeps coming up across rumors. King's own loud mouth made him a target before his last name ever did. He was allegedly mocking older inmates, bragging about money, and carrying himself like a star, until someone whispered, "That's T.I.'s boy." That's when the energy shifted. The tension exploded, and suddenly King wasn't just another cocky young inmate. He became a walking billboard for every grudge ever held against the Harris name. Every ounce of resentment about privilege, every grudge against fame. It all came crashing down on King. That's why insiders say T.I. was in full scramble mode, because this wasn't about lawyers or bail anymore. This was about survival. In that world, deals aren't written on paper. They're sealed with silence, fear, and power. You don't know what the hell you're gonna do with, right? You feel me? One insider said, painting the picture of just how real it got. And here's the heartbreaking truth. King Harris wanted to prove he was real, but now reality itself might be the very thing that destroys him. Becoming a father himself in late 2024 should have been King's big wake-up call. Holding his baby boy, King Jr., was supposed to ground him, to push him into real manhood. But instead, the cycle started creeping right back around, just like T.I. had feared. One generation fought tooth and nail to escape the trap, only to watch the next one run straight back into it. For T.I., this fight isn't about saving his son from a few bruises in a county cell. It's about breaking a curse. It's about stopping history from spinning like a bad mixtape stuck on repeat. It's about proving that hip-hop royalty can raise sons who don't crash chasing the same street life their fathers barely survived. And now, for King, the crossroads couldn't be clearer. Grow up or go down the same dark road that almost ended his father's story. So now the real question stands. Will King Harris rise into the father, artist, and man he swears he wants to be? Or will he end up stuck as the punchline of his own cautionary tale? Because those gangs inside aren't waiting on his next mixtape. They're waiting on his next mistake. And mistakes, as King is finally learning, can be fatal. The question isn't just whether he survives jail, It's whether he survives the cycle. Do you think King will finally break free or fall right back into the same trap? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, share this video,
All right, y'all.
and don't forget to subscribe.
Right. A lot of people thought I was being harsh with the young man King. I just feel like he was born into a good situation to where he did not have to turn out like this. And the things that his dad tried to tell him about life, he didn't want to listen. But that I understand. I was a child. We all were children. Life is trial and error. You make mistakes and you learn from your mistakes, right? But another thing is like this. Sometimes kids don't like hearing the shit that comes out their parents' mouth. You know, it sounds a little better, a lot easier hearing it from an outside source. So no disrespect to King Harris. I'm just being the outside source. Meant no malicious intent by calling him a half a albino and calling him a bitch and all that other stuff. I really didn't mean it. I didn't mean it, YouTube. Did y'all see homeboy in the video that looked just like me? That boy had talent, didn't he? I swear he had talent. But no, nonetheless, we're going to keep high spirits and prayers up for King Harris. Hope he turns this negative into a positive, like a lot of us have done in our lives. And like the video said, turn out to be the star, the rapper, the actor, the father, the everything that he inspires to be. So as always, man, we're going to conclude right there. Follow the drip this way, not that way. Over there, y'all know the jail give you peanut butter for free, right? They give you these little packs. Over there, they peanut butter your ass.
I should have known you was in here. I saw the drippings from the driveway. You know something? You better not ever do a crime. Police never had no problem finding you. Follow the drip. Follow the drip. They've never had no problem finding you.